'Cause virtual is where we live.
Your number one place for honest reviews.
Tech MRB.
'Cause virtual is where we live, live, live. 'Cause virtual is where we live, live, live.
What's up, guys? This is Tech MRB. I'm Michael Brown.
And I'm Imran Ward.
And today we're going to be talking about our first impressions of the just introduced Samsung Galaxy S6 and Galaxy S6 Edge. So, yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. All right, so big things first. Of course, it's going to be 4G LTE compatible. It is still TouchWiz, but it is TouchWiz layered on top of Android 5.0 Lollipop, which is a big thing. Display, it's Gorilla Glass 4. The Galaxy S6 is a 5.1 Quad HD, so 2K, 577 ppi Super AMOLED display. And
for a note, that is the highest display density that you can get on a phone right now. So when it comes out, that is going to be one of the best screens out on a phone. It's probably the best screens because it's also going to be the brightest screen on any smartphone to date.
Yep.
That'll be coming out. And
the Galaxy S6 Edge is the exact same, except for, of course, the Edge. So this is the first dual-edged smartphone screen that's ever been produced. Samsung, interestingly, said that to create the screen, they had to dip the glass in over 800 degree
Celsius.
Over 800 degrees Celsius temperatures, which is pretty interesting. Other than that, the processor is octa-core, as the Samsung Zeos octa-core. There's 2 cores. It's a quad 2.1 gigahertz core for your main processor, and then when you need more, or when you throttle your battery back, it is going to be the quad 1.5 gigahertz processor.
All right, now onto the camera. The camera is going to be a 16 megapixel OIS rear camera and a 5 megapixel front camera. Both cameras will feature quick launch, which means they're always constantly running in the background, and we don't know how much that's going to drain the battery, but they say that it's going to be running in the background, so you have a 0.7 launch time for the camera every time, and it'll be taking less than a second to get your shot off. It'll also have autofocus tracking, so if you're recording something, taking a picture, it'll always keep the tracking of whatever you're focused on. It has auto real-time HDR, so it runs HDR constantly, so you don't have to take the picture and then look at the HDR.
And that's on the front and rear cameras.
Front and rear cameras. And it also has a low light sensitivity f1.9 aperture lens. That is real interesting. They showed a quick video of them doing the same thing. It was a low light scenario with the Apple's iPhone 6 Plus and the S6. And the same exact situation, and you couldn't see anything that was going on with the iPhone 6 Plus, but you could definitely see the people and see them talking, interacting with the S6. So they did some good things with that rear camera. And it has slow motion and fast motion compatibility. And it has a Pro mode, which is kind of like Nokia's Pro Cam, where you can open up and get all the details of all the features, and so you can edit the picture exactly like you want it before you even take the shot.
Okay, so some additional features that come along with this phone are going to be ultra power saving mode, which is actually just Samsung's different name for Android 5.0 Lollipop's battery saver mode. It is the exact same thing. There's no differentiation at all. There's also S Health 4.0, which is an updated version of Samsung's last S Health. Basically, features that connect with your smartwatch and your phone. So if you have a heart rate monitor on your smartwatch or any other health monitor on your smartwatch, it'll load into S Health, as well as a heart rate monitor on the rear end of the phone.
Additional note about the camera is with the heart rate sensor that's on the back of the S6, if you're ready to take a shot with the front-facing camera, instead of having to tap on the front of the glass, you can tap that heart rate sensor on the back, and it'll take a quick shot using the front-facing camera.
And of course, to have NFC. NFC, when it comes to mobile payments, NFC is only used in about 10% of all the retailers in the world. So that leaves about 90% of the retailers unusable. So says Samsung. So Samsung decided to create a whole new process for mobile payments.
And they decided to call this MST. What MST is, in a sense, is that you can use your phone with any retailer that accepts credit cards and debit cards. Sounds crazy, right? So how they did it is that you load your cards up, same way that you do on Google Wallet. Load your cards up, and you authenticate the card with your fingerprint. And then once you authenticate the card, you put your phone against the magnetic strip layer of the payment system, and there's a magnet inside there that's strong enough that you can still get the swipe effect through the phone and into the mobile payment system. So anywhere that you can use a credit card or debit card, which with the magnetic strip, you can use that with the MST software on the S6 and the S6 Edge. So that was the most interesting thing they unveiled today.
Some extra interesting tidbits of the S6 and the S6 Edge. Memory is 3 gigabytes of DDR4, which is first in all smartphones. So 3 gigabytes of DDR4 memory. It has internal memory as well of 32 gigabytes, 64 gigabytes, or 128 gigabytes. And that's important because the S6 does not have SD card expansion. On top of that, it has Qi wireless charging. It's good to go. Dimensions is the Galaxy S6 is 6.8 millimeters thick, and the S6 Edge is 7 millimeters thick, so a little bit thicker, but not too much to really worry about. The S6 has a 2,550 milliamp hour battery, and the S6 Edge has a slightly larger battery at 2,600 milliamp hours.
All right. And now, along with the dimension, the battery capacity, the dimensions, they are still slimmer than the S5, so you don't have to worry about them being thicker now that they're metal. They're still thinner, and the batteries are still bigger. So you're still going to get more out of it, and with the optimizations of 5.0 Lollipop, you should get even better battery life than that. We're going to talk about a couple of reservations we have with the S6, and these were a couple weird ones. Something interesting to note is that they don't have removable batteries anymore. Now that they've gone to the glass and the metal design, they've stopped having removable batteries. You can't take a battery out. There's no external memory card slot. From day one, Samsung has always had external memory card slots on its flagships. Now they don't. You can get it in 32, 64, 128 gigs, but that's it. No more external expansion of memory. And another weird note that they said is that it is no longer IP67 qualified. That means don't get your phone wet. It's not like the watches or the iPhones or a lot of them where you can get them wet for, it's like 10 meters for up to 30 minutes. Yep. You can't do that anymore. It's no longer qualified for that. So don't get your phone wet or get a really good case. And the glass on the back, now they've gone to the all metal and all glass. The glass on the back is just like the iPhone 5 where it was a huge fingerprint magnet. Apple went away from it with the iPhone 6 to the all metal, but Samsung, I guess they didn't take from that. And the glass on the back, you're going to want to cover it up or put something matte on it to stop it because it is a huge fingerprint magnet. Those are some reservations we have with the S6.
Yeah. On top of that, when it comes to the glass back, they're obviously with the iPhone 5 and the 5S and the Nexus 4, one of the biggest problems with that glass back was if you dropped your phone on its back, that back glass was cracking, which is why I, being a major Nexus guy in my timeline of having Android phones, have never bought the Nexus 4 because of that one problem.
Now, the Gorilla Glass 4 is supposed to be oh so much stronger, but everyone knows you can get that perfect angle, that perfect drop distance, and it will just boosh, it'll crack. So hopefully they fix a lot of those issues and it's like less of a risk for your phone to crack, but it's just a weird issue that it's not IP67 qualified and that they have that glass back that's a fingerprint magnet, and now you have another side of your phone that's excessively prone to damage. But it is an absolutely beautiful phone, and we do love it. When it came out today, there has not been a phone that I've raved from Samsung in years, but the S6 did cause me to take a little focus and focus a little bit more because it is a beautiful and gorgeous phone, and I'm looking to get a review unit as quickly as possible.
Yep, since I've had the Note 2 way back in the day, there wasn't another Samsung phone that I was really crazy about getting. This has absolutely changed that.
So there are some reservations, there are some things to look at, but there are so many more potential benefits and so many more new things and world's first, as Samsung like to say a lot during its presentation inside the S6. So we're looking to get our hands on it as quickly as possible, and the release time is April 10th. For 20 major countries, they said, and I assume the U.S. is going to be on that. I can't doubt that it will be. So look out for that.
Country anymore.
Maybe we're not. Maybe with the U.S. isn't a major country anymore. Maybe. So that is our take and first impressions of the brand new Samsung Galaxy S6. And we hope that you enjoyed it, and we hope that y'all take it with a grain of salt and take what we say and do your own further research before you make that purchase, because you should always do research before you buy anything. Yep. But that's all we got for you today. I'm Imran Ward.
I'm Michael Brown, and make sure you hit that like button down below, share, favorite the video if you really liked it, subscribe. This is Tech MRB. Catch you next time. Peace.